since a child, right? We're always told to give our power away.
Ooh.
Let the president lead, let God lead.
Welcome to this episode of From Dirt We Grow, where you will find the truth as well as the deep dives into real issues that it will take to make real changes. I am Stephanie Kendall, and I am joined today by Ms. Jena Salisbury, who is here with us today to provide some insight into the lesser explored areas of healthcare. It's healthcare for the mind, body, and soul. So I'm going to need you to stick around and you will hear what prompted that little gem in the beginning there, as well as this one here.
They will be blanketed by poison everywhere they turn. The
Oh,
soft metals will cause them to lose their minds.
oh.
We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say.
I love to provide alternatives to these broken systems that are in place today in this nation that we find ourselves living in. So, stick around and please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. I will surely appreciate you for that. Hit the like every now and then, and let's go ahead and say hello. She has a podcast. Miss Jenna has a podcast launching on the 13th of this month. CNS Unfiltered. Hello and welcome to the show, Jenna.
Hi, thank you for having me, Stephanie. I'm happy to be here.
I like to highlight these different ways of navigating this crazy world. Okay, first let's talk about your podcast. Are you excited for this launch you got coming up?
I'm extremely excited for the launch that we have coming up on the 13th. We've been working really hard on it to get eyes on a profession, and like pretty much a whole profession that can really shift healthcare and shift how people feel.
Great. That's what we're here for. We got to provide people options because the ones we have are not
I
great.
agree.
Right. Tell me more. What do you do? What's this all about?
Sure. So a CNS, so the CNS of Unfiltered is a certified nutrition specialist. Most of us are going to call ourselves clinical nutrition specialist. And so it is the gold standard of nutrition degrees. So most people are really familiar with a registered dietitian, so an RD or a licensed nutrition dietitian, but no one is really very versed or has ever heard of a certified nutrition specialist. And so we're using precision nutrition and really understanding the whys and the body's functions and the cascades that are happening, not just how to support the physician inside of like a hospital setting or the person in a hospital setting, but really trying to unlock the root causes and align with that person exactly where they're at and help them move their body into that homeostasis and unlocking whatever part needs to happen for that to happen, whether it's the mind, the body, or the soul.
Yeah. So mind, body, and soul. You've heard this expression before. How does it all tie together? And I know you specialize in gut repair, mindset, soul. How does that all tie together?
Sure. So, this will be me personally versus probably just functional medicine. So, functional medicine is definitely looking at the person as a whole. But through my 15 years of coaching people, especially with food, I mean, I'm not a therapist, but food is the most personal thing we do with ourselves every day. And when you're taking away people's coping mechanisms, the way they celebrate, the way they bond with their family, or the way they go out with their friends, like it's emotional. You're touching people's health and their life and their identity. It's emotional. It's going to hit deep. And so I have interviewed a lot of CNSs and I've worked with now a lot of CNSs, and the ones that are good, like they're understanding the mind, body, and soul and that coaching piece to bring it all together, because we can't just look at one piece and say, oh, I understand this. And coming in, I think we see that very bluntly in our traditional healthcare model as it is, right? Oh, I think it's a heart thing, go see your heart doctor. Oh, I think it's a gut thing, go see your gastroenterologist. Or, oh, I think it's your lungs, go see a pulmonologist, or and so on and so forth, right?
There's a specialist for everything, right?
There is, and nobody talks.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking at it as a system. No one is asking, like, oh, your blood pressure could be linked to your kidneys, but your nephrologist is going to send you to your endocrine doctor. So people are just getting bounced around with no answers, but having to pay for all of these specialists. And then their insurance go up and up and up because they're getting all these diagnoses, which might even be wrong. So their insurance is going to go up, but they're not getting any results.
Yeah, and what you said about, and you know that food is tied to, like you said, it's family, it's going out with your friends. You don't tie that to like what you said, like it's an emotional thing. So I see how it ties into the whole mindset thing. That's crazy. See that these little things that just you learn something new every day, right? So you talk about mindset as a key to healing. So how do you define healing mindset?
So I think this is a huge difference also when we're coming from a traditional health model versus a functional health model. Because in traditional health, the way I view it, right, the doctors know everything and they are quote unquote supposed, I don't like that word, but supposed to know it all and be able to give you a pill, right? We're in that instant gratification society right now for sure. And it's supposed to be fixed. And so we give all of our power away. We just follow blindly right behind what the physician is saying and the next steps and the testing, and quote unquote should be able to we should be also able to trust them and move forward with them.
They're the experts.
In the traditional mindset, right, we have the mindset of pretty much giving away our power. I know nothing. I know nothing about my body.
Exactly.
Here's my labs. Tell me what to do. And for the people who are now coming into functional medicine, they are coming out of that mindset and coming into the mindset of, you know what? Traditional medicine doesn't work. I keep getting sick. I keep going in circles. No one's been able to help me. They tell me food has nothing to do with anything. And no one's listening to me. I'm not being heard, but I'm not crazy. Something is wrong. And so they're going to come into more of a functional doctor or a Chinese medicine, or they're going to start seeing an acupuncturist, right? They're going to go somewhere else to get out of that system. Well, functional medicine has been being created, I would say, for about 20 years, maybe a little bit longer. I've been in the field for 15 and it was brand squeaky new pretty much at that point. But that is where we actually get to look deeper. And the mindset shifts from save me to what do I have to do to save myself because no one's coming to save me. So when people come to me, they're usually coming with a bag full of supplements or medications, a binder full of testing, and they're like, what do I do now? Tell me how food works because I'm done with this. I'm done with all these pills. I'm done with going in circles. Just, I'd rather not eat anything. Like, so the mindset is huge. When you're ready to take back your health and you're able to come back to what we've been given on this planet, I do wholly believe like we were not put on this planet without everything we needed. So we don't need man-made things. We need knowledge and understanding within ourselves, within our body, and within our surroundings. And I think that's part of the spirit piece is being connected and not so disconnected within ourselves, within our minds, within our connection to even where our food comes from. Easy fixes like switching to glass and detox, and wow, now I don't have like PMS symptoms. Now I have a cycle, or now I can have this.
What?
Yeah, now my endocrine system will balance because I took out what was causing all of the SNPs and all of the blockages along the way, causing dysfunction or causing disbalance.
So when we talk about gut health, I think most people think of digestion. How does it tie into your mind, your body, your soul? How does all that tie in together and affect your overall well-being?
Oh my gosh. Gut health is the gateway, right? We need food to live. Everybody knows that. I guess except for doctors, because they don't think that food is necessary for health. But for anyone who eats, you know that you feel better when you eat, right? You have energy, you have a clear brain. Like we don't want to go, and we can't go really very long without eating and drinking. That it sustains our body. Our body, we are biochemical reactions, and every biochemical reaction requires a catalyst, and then the cascade begins, right? And so when we come into that cascade, it's important to know where that cascade goes for health. But the gut is what is going to start all of those cascades. What we eat, if the gut is working correctly, well, then we're going to fuel the body with nutrients and antioxidants and fuel, and we're going to feel amazing. But if there's something going on in the gut and we're not digesting, well, maybe that food's turning into is fermenting, and now we got gas and bloating and acid reflux, and we can't eat, and water makes us bloat. Or maybe it's further down and we have a bacterial disposition, which is stealing our iron or putting us to be super embarrassed with loose stools, and we can't go out and hang out with our friends or can't go to anywhere, right? Like without knowing where the bathroom is. So the gut to me is a foundation. So if we're spewing the body full of toxins, we're going to have disbalance. And so once you heal the gut, I listen to the body.
It all ties together. Pulling that in, let's focus on that a little more about the mind and the body and the soul tying into your gut. How does stress or like unresolved trauma show up in your gut?
All right. Love this. Okay. So when we go through trauma, let me back up a second. The body does not know the difference between like an external stress, like a car accident, or an internal stress. I'm not able to get the nutrients from my food, or I have food sensitivities or allergies or bacteria that's causing my body to feel under attack every time I eat. Or what we did for millennial, we have something hunting us, right? The body doesn't understand the difference. So when that stress response happens, it's the same cascade that filters through the body. And this cascade is going to come through your adrenals. This is through your sympathetic nervous system. And so this is going to be fueled by like your catecholamines and your adrenaline and your testosterone. And so we get
Mhm.
that pep and that step and that hyper focus when we come into fight or flight, right? Or we drink that big cup of caffeine, which is pushing our cortisol off of our adrenals. So, this is naturally going to push sodium and glucose into the bloodstream. So, you have the power and the energy to fight or flight. But what it's also going to do is going to stop your parasympathetic nervous system. Your parasympathetic nervous system is the opposite of the sympathetic nervous system, and this is the relax, digest, release, heal state. And so when that gets shut down, it shuts down our thyroid, and it shuts down digestion, and it shuts down our sex hormones because it says, you know what? I got a little bit of nutrients. They need to go towards keeping us alive. That is the body's number one job. So we're going to push that towards fight or flight and make sure that you stay alive. You have everything you need to fight and to have all of this energy. So right now we don't have the energy to push into thyroid metabolism, right? For you to go out dancing. We don't have the energy to really put into digestion. That 6 hours of work, 6 meters of work is an investment, right? You still got to put stuff in to get the nutrients out. And then we're also going to shut down our hormones and especially testosterone or bind that up because it's not a time to be making babies, right? So it's going to start. We're trying to save your life. I mean, sometimes it'll unlock the testosterone and to push that fight or flight pathway. But really, what it's doing is it's shutting down your endocrine system, your hormone system, and your digestion. So when we think of a trauma, we think of something that tanks the body. Maybe it fuels them up first, right? Maybe that fight or flight gives them the heart palpitations and the angst and the anxiety, and they can't slow down, right? The body is just really revving really high. Eventually, it's going to crash, right? It'll go from like anxiety to depression. So the stress state, that trauma state, changes the operating system of the body, and some people can't get out of it. And that's where a lot of that emotional piece comes
Mm.
in, or that mind and soul piece comes in, is because now you got to make them feel safe again. Now, to do anything for healing, we have to move the body from that fight or flight, that sympathetic nervous system, into the parasympathetic nervous system. So the body will even accept the healing.
Wow, this is very enlightening. I'm over here in shock.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Some of the easiest things we can do, right? Eat breakfast before coffee and get some good sleep. I'm just want to point out like how simple changes when you align with the body can go a really far away. But the people who know how to align with the body, in my opinion, are the clinical nutrition specialist. The traditional medicine, when they separate everything and they just want to have the power and here's your pill for whatever, like that's never gonna get it. Never ever.
Absolutely. It totally makes sense. Where do we find CNSs? Where can we find you?
Yeah, great question. Part of the reason I had started CNS Unfiltered is because to find a CNS I have found is very hard. We don't, functional medicine is still very new. It's just now kind of becoming trendy. And so there's a lot of functional medicine doctors who are just trying to do nutrition inside their practice to call it functional medicine because nutrition is the baseline of functional medicine, and that's something to take into consideration when you're looking for a functional medicine doctor. But I usually say before you even head to a functional medicine doctor to find a CNS. If you tune into my podcast, I interview many CNSs from all over the country. And so you can tune in and see, oh, this one works with sports nutrition, or this one works with hormones and pregnancy, or this one works with cancer, or this one works with genetics, and really go through and fine tune who you think is going to be best for you. But you can come in to my show and see that, and I hopefully I will have like a resource page because we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from just knowing that we wanted to actually heal people, to understand the body and its intrinsic nature. I look at the doctors; they're like the broad strokes. They're going to catch the big things, the
Mm.
diagnoses, and then the CNSs are the real fine tuning. They understand each gear and how each of those go together for that real detailed understanding of the body. For me, you can find me at innateclinicalnutrition.com. That is my personal company. And I do have a gut first practice, but I also do everything.
So CNSing, from what I'm gathering, and I just made that up. I don't know if I made that up or if that's a thing. CNSing is basically like the best form of preventative medicine.
I would say so, but not even preventative medicine, like chronic disease states. If there's someone with a chronic disease state and you're done with traditional medicine and you're ready to take your health into your own hands, like you're done saying, okay, I'm willing to put in the work, not just take a pill, then go see a CNS. Right. So in functional medicine, we get two people. We get the people who are super preventative and they are already like max performers. They're coming in for the anti aging medicine, they're coming in for the peptides and the stem cells and the ozone therapy and the NAD and the IV nutrition. We have those that we are optimizing, right? We are getting into their fine tuning. But on the flip side, we also have the people who will just pick on the gut again. Their gut can't handle things. So I might be sending them in for some IV therapy to nourish them and hydrate them and to shift their inflammatory state. People who come to us as a CNS, like I mentioned, they're done with medicine. They're done with doctors. They don't have trust with them no more. They're done. If they're wasting that much money, it might as well be on knowledge for themselves so they know how to take care of themselves.
How hard is it? Because, people don't like change. How can we get people to leave behind this traditional way of doing things for a new approach, a better approach?
Well, people change once their whys are bigger than their butt. Like, why? Why are you going to do it? Once their why, whatever their why is, right? So their whys need to be bigger than their butts. Why do you want to do this? I want to do this so I can be healthier, so I can see my grandkids grow, so I don't need to have that much help, so I can, whatever it is. But then we also have those buts, right? But it's my birthday, but it's this, but I'll start on Monday, but I have vacation, but today I don't feel good, right? The whys have to outweigh the buts.
I get it now.
And so that's when people shift or they hit rock bottom. When they come in to speak with me, I think is very different than a physician because a lot of times I get tears. A lot of times I'm hearing their frustrations. I'm hearing what all the doctors have told them, what they've tried and everything that's failed. And they're
Mhm.
looking for a different type of help and for someone to listen to them and make them feel not crazy, that what they're feeling inside is legit.
What do you recommend to align the gut and the mind? Like people are listening. They're like, okay, this kind of makes sense, but how do you recommend that they try to align their gut and the mind and the soul to even begin this process?
One of the biggest things I recommend, like if someone were to start one of my programs, is we do journaling on mindset. We also do an identity piece. What is your identity? How is it attached to your illnesses or your shortcoming of whatever they feel their shortcomings are within their health? Because we can get attached to that. And especially for people who've been sick for a very long time, to let go of that identity, to come into a different identity of health and vitality, of needing no support, of being independent, like they may feel like they will lose everybody, right? Or they don't know how to be. They've never felt that before, so they can't grab onto that to pull themselves out. So I do work a lot with identity just so I can understand the mindset
Mm,
of where my clients are coming from and help them understand what that next version of them looks like. And so that kind of anchors our goal, to help us when things get rough, right? Because it's not a pill. We're not going to go straight up, right? We got to go through the ups and downs and learn your body and unlock whatever the body's got to unlock through that process.
why do you think that we get disconnected in the first place as far as our mind, body, and soul?
It's a great question.
Thanks.
Just to keep it in the realm of like our healthcare, and I don't want to get like religious or political, but I think within our society, all right, within our indoctrination since a child, right, we're always told to give our power away.
Ooh.
Let the president lead, let God lead. Don't worry about it. Be good, have hope, right? Well, fuck hope. You got to have faith in yourself, faith in what you know, faith in your next steps, faith in the universe to conspire with you. I wholeheartedly believe that. But ain't no one going to come save you. Like, I'm sorry, but that is not what this world is about. This is a warring planet. This world will always be at war. We will always war inside our heads. We will always war inside of our guts. That will not stop.
Wow, girl.
But ain't nobody going to come save you. So when people hit that rock bottom and they say, I am done giving it away, I'm done listening, I'm done going in circles, I'm done with you taking my money, I'm done. That's when they come to a CNS is food has been here since the beginning. How do I use food to heal? When I say, how do you feel after this? Or do you feel tired or energized after this? Or whatever. And they can look at me with a blank stare, like, I don't know. I can't tell you. So people are just so disconnected from their body that they don't believe that they can check in with it.
Mm.
So one of the biggest ways you can get into alignment with yourself is just start checking in with your body. Body, how do you feel? What part of my body? Do a body scan, like a meditation. Go from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. Where do you feel tension? Where's pain? Can you breathe into it? Does that release it, right? Like just get to know yourself. Trust our bodies to lead us. And our bodies, when they get sick and when they hurt, that's really the body trying to lead you, saying, hey, something's off. Help us. Like, we're in this together. If I feel bad, you feel bad. So then it comes right back into that mind, body, of soul of why it's important for full healing to take place.
Wow. Now I got to ask this question. So, of course, another reason people will not want or have reservations switching over or of even looking into this. We know that the traditional Western medicine is pricey. How does that compare?
Well, insurance companies and FDA do not like non synthetics, right? They can't patent them. They can't hold money for them. And so that's, in my opinion, why insurance will not cover functional medicine at all.
At all?
At all. Like a physician can take insurance, right? A physician can take insurance for labs or whatever. So they can order the labs, but in functional medicine, they want to see more labs. So what the labs I read are about 5, 6 pages of information. I'm going through every single thyroid marker, every hormone marker. I'm going deeper into GGTs and ferritins, and I want to see the full system of what I'm looking at. In traditional medicine, we'll pick on the thyroid for a second. If they're looking at your thyroid, they're going to just do your TSH. If your TSH is normal, then your body's normal. You come into functional medicine, I'm going to test your TSH, your free T3, your free T4, your reverse T3, and both antibodies. I want to see the full function. But if a physician were to submit that to insurance, their insurance will say these labs were not necessary. And that person is going to get a bill for everything outside the TSH. And so it puts functional physicians in a real awkward spot that now they got to pay a big cover fee or a big co-fee. They have to pay for some labs that insurance won't cover. And the price adds up. They're like, why am I paying cash for all this? And I'm paying through my insurance and I'm getting a bill from insurance. It's stupid. It's so wrong. So then most functional medicine offices, most clinics who are just functional medicine, they're going to be cash pay only. And that takes out too many people, in my opinion. There are a lot that will do that. So you'll pay a monthly concierge fee. So there's a lot of concierge offices and functional office. So yeah, you'll pay a monthly fee and that gets you extra labs, it gets you seeing a physician, it probably gets you a health coach because if don't go to a functional office that does not have a health coach and you're going to be supported more like that. But yes, so if you don't have insurance and you're willing to do the work, that's the way I personally would do it. Have you ever read the Rockefeller? It's called The Secret Covenant or the Rockefeller Mosaic Creed.
No, I don't think so. What's that about?
We will keep their lives short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use their knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so that they will never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poison everywhere they turn. The
Oh,
soft metals will cause them to lose their minds.
oh,
We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. We shall establish their governments and set up opposites to own both sides. We will make them pay for their deaths. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths. This covenant must never, ever be known to exist. It must never, ever be written or spoken of.
I'm tripping.
It has no variable sources before 2002, and no historian or Rockefeller archive has found any such record. So there's the disclaimer.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds pretty spot on to me. I don't think there's much that can follow that either. So, with that, I want to thank Miss Jenna Salisbury so much for being here. And please go ahead and tell us about your podcast before we go.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thanks for letting me get to talk about what I love and really where I'm trying to help the paradigm shift inside of our medical system. Yeah. So my podcast is CNS Unfiltered, where clinical nutrition specialists uncover what traditional medicine overlooks. So we go over the journey of becoming a CNS. You get to see and highlight all of our unique backgrounds because it is not a straight path. And then we break down a case study. So we go over where traditional medicine left off, what functional medicine or the CNS did to uncover what they left, right? Was it a lab testing? Was it a functional test? Was it a body composition scan? What was it? What the turning point was, so how we treat differently. And then we're going to debunk a myth for you about whatever that topic is or traditional medicine. So please join us. I love to have you all to come and share that journey with me.
Yeah, I mean, as most of us know, these systems in place nowadays are just broken and there are options. So at least check out the podcast and hear what it's all about, hear what she has to say.
Find me.
And I want to thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. You guys have a great day. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you next week right here on From Dirt We Grow.